Hey, ooh, Mike. Hi, everyone. So, okay, I wasn't actually going to film today, but I've got guests coming into town. First time since before COVID. We're so excited. There's going to be 4 adults, 6 kids, 2 dogs, and a cat in this house. It's going to be kind of chaos. So, in order to make the morning go a little bit more smoothly, I decided to make a prep ahead breakfast casserole. Well, this is one, I got an idea off of Pinterest, and then I decided to make it my own, like I normally do. And I'm just like cooking, and I'm like, guys, I gotta share this with y'all because I'm actually getting really excited about it. So as you can see, my daughter made a bunch of apple cinnamon muffins for everyone too. So like I said, I wasn't planning on filming. My kitchen's actually a really hot mess right now, but hey, this is life, right? The chaos before the company. So I've got daughters upstairs vacuuming and we're dusting and all of that, right? All right, let me show you what I got going on. So in this skillet, I've got sauteed onions, a yellow bell pepper, and some spinach. And messy kitchen. Over here, I am working on dicing some ham. So as you can see, I was working on dicing the ham, and then I'm just like, I've got to film this for people. Like, could be a really good breakfast casserole. So you can buy diced ham. When I was at the store, I found these teeny tiny little bags, and they were like $5 each. And I'm like, oh, come on. I'm trying to feed a crowd here. I don't need a tiny little bag of diced ham. I need a bunch of diced ham. So I bought this big old ham, fully cooked ham roast, or I don't know what you call that shape. And I'm just cutting it up myself. So I don't know how much I want because I'm just so the basic idea of this was breakfast enchiladas. That was what the recipe on Pinterest, and I'll see if I can find that recipe, and if I can re-find it, I will link it back below. But basically, it was just a spark of an idea, and I'm kind of going off book and doing my own thing. So I don't know if I want to add more ham or not, but I've got a bunch of ham here, and now I'm going to add in these veggies. Anybody who has a cast iron skillet, this thing is awesome. It's a little silicone handle that goes onto your cast iron skillet. Where are my oven mitts? My daughter, like I said, was making muffins, and here they are. My little silicone oven mitts. Okay, this is the hard part of cast iron. Oh, it's so heavy. Add this in with the ham. Don't want to waste any bits. Don't you hate that? Like when people leave stuff behind, like that drives me crazy. So I try to get as much as I can. Okay. Oh, that's too heavy. I'm actually going to just let this sit down and cool because I want to add cheese, but I don't want the cheese to melt. While this is cooling, I'm gonna maybe work on doing some more cleaning, and then we'll come back. Are we recording? Yes, we're recording. All right, so this has now had time to cool down. We've scrubbed some toilets. We have mopped some floors. The house is looking spiffy. My hands have been washed thoroughly. Now I'm going to add a bunch of cheese. A bunch of cheese? I mean, we are feeding 10 people here, right, guys? Well, let's give this a stir. And I'm going to taste at this point because I want to make sure I got enough salt on my spinach. I do not like spinach that doesn't have salt on it. So, oh goodness, this is looking good. So my kids and I kind of got into a debate about whether or not these would be considered breakfast enchiladas or breakfast burritos. I kind of feel like they're more in the enchilada type. All right, I'm mostly wanting to make sure my spinach is salty, so I got some spinach on the spoon. That's good. Okay. So, and you see, since I'm making this for company and not just family, I actually got out a spoon instead of just, which is what I would have been doing if I was family. All right, now I'm gonna make a sauce to go on top of these enchiladas. I just felt like everything right here. Seriously, it's a little chaos today, but sometimes those are the best days. So, you know, to keep it more into the enchilada territory, I've got a can of diced green chilies. I'm going to crack in 4 eggs. I'm making this recipe like way more complicated than the original one. The original one was ham, cheese wrapped up in a tortilla with eggs and milk poured on top. I'm pretty sure that was all that was in the original one, which would be great if you need to feed a crowd and you want to do it quickly and you don't without a lot of fuss. But I just wanted to jazz it up a little bit. All right, so again, for the enchilada aspect, I decided to add a little bit of sour cream to this because, oh, I didn't mean to put that in there. So I'm going to use this to spoon my filling into the tortillas in a minute. All right, now I've got some heavy cream. You could also just use regular milk, but this is a company meal, so we're going to go decadent with a little bit of heavy cream. And then a little bit more. And we're going to add some salt and pepper. I got to show you these muffins back here in a minute. My daughter Maddie is a very, very excellent baker. I don't like to bake. I don't have the patience to measure. Can you see, like, Watson, chill out, boy. So as you can see, I don't really measure. A little bit of this, a little bit of that, and voila. But Maddie loves to be very, very precise and measure, and so whenever she bakes anything, you are in for a big treat. This is pretty thick. I'm trying to decide if I want to thin it out with just regular milk, but I don't think so. I think I'm going to leave it as it is. I'm going to roll these tortillas fairly thin. Let me show you a couple what I'm talking about. So I've got my dish here and I'm going to spray it with some olive oil spray because that's what I got. And I got some tortillas. I got a bunch because, again, big crowd this weekend. I'm so excited to be able to finally have guests in the house again. We've got vaccinations done, so we're feeling like we are being COVID friendly. So I'm not going to put too much again. I want to keep them fairly thin because I want to try to get a bunch of them in here. Yeah, let me do one more and then I will speed this up because watching me roll tortillas all day is not the most exciting thing, probably. And for the second breakfast, which I doubt I'm going to film because I'm going to probably do that in many stages, I'm going to make little English muffin pizzas, but I'll definitely take pictures of them and put them on my Instagram. So definitely take a follow on my Instagram account at @dit.dot also. And I will show you the little English muffin pizzas I make. All right, we'll be right back. I actually had enough to do about 20, but I got enough space, unless I put one sideways here. No, I don't think it'll fit. Let's see, I think I am gonna add a little bit of milk to this just to thin it out so I can cover more area. And then another egg to, again, the egg will kind of bind it together. Make sure that egg yolk gets incorporated in here. It's kind of like a mix between a quiche and and enchiladas. I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. Now I'm going to pour this across. Try to leave enough for both casseroles. This one's bigger, so it gets more. Put some here. Make sure you get the edges. There we go. Awesome. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover these with tin foil and put them in my refrigerator. And then tomorrow morning, before I pop them in the oven, I'll sprinkle them with a little bit more cheese for top. And I'm going to bake them for probably a half hour or so. And I'll show them to you tomorrow, I promise. Well, for you, it'll just be a couple of seconds. For me, it's like a whole nother day. So other meals that I've got going this weekend is a no-peak stew, which I have a video on. Actually, this one, I won't bake it with this obviously, but I love that this casserole dish comes with a cover. This one I'll just have to use foil. And the little pizzas. What else do we have? I'm gonna make macaroni cheese in the Instapot for the kids one day while the grown-ups go out to dinner.
We ended up going to this really cool tiki bar in downtown Portland called Hale. It was a really cool experience, and if you ever find yourself in Portland, you should definitely check them out.
Let me show you these muffins before I say goodbye. So these are some golden apple cinnamon muffins that my daughter Maddie made. They're so beautiful. Apparently we've lost a bunch of our liners, so some of them don't have liners. Anyway, I'll pop on when I put these in the oven tomorrow to bake, and until then.
Hey, good morning YouTube family. So, it's real early in the morning. My guests are here. Everyone's sleeping, but I tiptoed downstairs to put this casserole in so everybody can wake up to a fresh breakfast. Pulled it out of the refrigerator. This one looks pretty good. There's still a bunch of sauce down in here, but this one I went ahead and molded those 3 extras and just decided to do a double-decker layer, and it absorbed all the sauce. So I'm going to make a little bit more of the sauce and just add it on top of this casserole dish. All right, we're popping these guys in the oven. We're gonna let them bake for probably 30 minutes, and I'll show you what they look like when we're done.
This is what the breakfast enchiladas looked like after 30 minutes at 375.
All right, guys, I showed you the enchiladas. Now I'm gonna go ahead and give them a taste. See how they came out. As my guests are already eating them, by the way, I will mention. See, of course I can't get one on the fork. That was really good.
Hey guys, I just wanted to pop back on here. A couple days later, my guests have all left. There was enough leftovers because I was raised in Texas, and in Texas, if you've got leftovers at the end of the meal, that means everyone left full. I know in some cultures, if there's leftovers, it might mean that people didn't like your food, but in Texas, that means you've made so much food that there's plenty left over and everybody left the table with big full bellies. But anyway, I just wanted to show it to you again because I know when my guests were here, I was kind of in a rush, and I did taste it really quickly that day, but I wanted to reiterate because I've never had a breakfast casserole quite like this, and it's very good. It's, like I said, it's a mix between the texture of a quiche because we poured that milk and egg batter on top, and it does have enchilada flavors with the chilies and the sour cream and the salsa that I put on top. So it's a really cool combination, and I really hope that you'll try it out. Anyway, I had so much fun filming this. I had so much fun. It's so nice to be able to have guests now that we've got some vaccinations in us and get life back to normal. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit that like button. Right now would be a really good time. Hit that like button, help me get some engagement, get this video pushed out, and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.